All right, we've got our favorite movie reviewer, Jackson Murphy here. How are you?
Doing well, Randy. How about you?
I'm good. I've been watching some of your recommendations and trying to catch up on some things, but you got some new things, man. They just keep coming.
They just keep coming. I'm glad you're watching Godzilla versus Kong because it is fun and it's making a lot of money at the box office. It's doing really well.
Now, there are some other movies that are coming to the box office that we'll get to in just a second here, but there's also a superhero comedy on Netflix that you want to tell us about.
That's right. It's Melissa McCarthy's latest movie, Thunder Force. Now, Randy, you got a favorite Melissa McCarthy movie?
I do not. So should this be my one?
No. No. In fact, it's one of the worst she's done.
Okay.
It is terrible. This is the fifth collaboration with her husband, Ben Falcone, as director. They've done a bunch of other comedies that were just so. This is terrible. Melissa McCarthy's character and Octavia Spencer's characters, they were friends in high school, best friends, then they kind of drifted apart, and decades later, they're in Chicago, and they come back together, and they eventually, it takes so long to get there, eventually become superheroes and try to save the day. At one point, Melissa Leo's character in this movie says, "I am unbelievably bored," and that's how I felt while watching this movie. It is dull. It goes on forever. The action doesn't work. And the comedy, oh my goodness. Not only does Melissa McCarthy try the whole slapstick humor that she does in some of her other movies, but then they get into gross out humor, which is just terrible. And Jason Bateman's in it, and he's got crab arms for some reason. Nothing in this movie works. It is lazy. It is tired. It is one of the 5 worst films of the year so far. I am disappointed.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there's some things in the theater then that we can watch, including a sci-fi romance. What's this about?
Yeah, Voyagers. It's just a little bit better, just a little. This is a movie from Neil Berger. He directed Divergent and Limitless, so another sci-fi film. This is one of those Earth's dying, so we got to explore another planet that's really far away movies. And in this case, you've got a bunch of kids who go on this mission and they got to get to this other planet. It'll take 86 years. So they got to have grandchildren by the time they reach that planet. Colin Farrell plays the adult guide. This is a really silly movie, and silly not in a good way, especially the second half. The majority of this movie does not work, not interesting, not unique or compelling, really goofy and heavy on the fiction aspect when it comes to the science fiction of this movie. It goes in some weird directions. So ultimately, I do not recommend Voyagers.
Okay. Well, there's another comedy you said that's in theaters. Is this one any good?
No. No. This is now Michelle Pfeiffer. I've loved some of the films she's made over the years, Fabulous Baker Boys and some of the others. She earned a Golden Globe nomination for a performance in French Exit earlier this year. I saw this movie back on December 12, and I've wanted to get it out of my mind ever since. A part of me says, if you want to experience the crazy and the oddness of this movie, to go see it, but it is such a terrible film that I do not recommend it. She plays a woman who takes her son and her cat from New York to Paris to kind of change her lifestyle. She's at a point in her life. There are some weird things with the cat. It feels very forceful and phony and odd, and the dialogue deliveries are awful, and the performances are over the top, and the directions this movie goes in. It's an all-timer in terms of weirdness and oddness completely. French Exit, yikes, Randy.
All right. Well, there's a movie on demand that you said that was based on a story here in the Capital Region that is out now.
That's right. There is a Capital Region connection to this film. It's called My True Fairy Tale. Writer-director Dimitri's first feature is inspired by true events. His young daughter was killed in a car accident in Guilderland a few years ago. And this is a movie, a drama with some fantasy elements about the power of love and the power of hope, even in the midst of tragedy. And so I'm looking forward to checking this out. I'll have my thoughts on social media this weekend, Twitter at LCJ Reviews, and the website lights-camera-jackson.com. It looks very interesting, obviously with the local connection, always the Capital Region, very interested in what's going on, and a really powerful personal story here. My True Fairy Tale on VOD.
Okay, Jackson, I appreciate your insight on all these movies. And you said people can find your reviews where again?
Yes, Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson. The website is lights-camera-jackson.com. And this Sunday night, the BAFTA Awards, they'll be on BBC America as award season keeps rolling on. And we're just a couple weeks away, finally, from the Oscars.
All right. Thank you, Jackson. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thanks.